Thank you. All righty then. All right. Oh,
Is this all virtual?
we have we have members at Metro. We have people at Forum. They usually come in late, but we do have people come in and virtually at Metro though. So there's a good hand of people on here. Okay. All right. So I'll go back to another Beta Alpha Psi meeting. Today we have Withum, Nicole John, and Trevor Wells to come and speak to us today. Please give their undivided attention. Let's ask a lot of questions, and I will pass it on to you two. I think you're able to share screen, right, Professor McGregor?
Yeah, you should be able to share.
Okay.
Hear me now? One more time. All good?
Yep.
All right. Do you need the camera on now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, some technical difficulties. I'm not too sure. I'm sure. Version, you're going to see it. Okay. So then we'll do is a new output. There we go. We just need to see here how do we make it so it's full screen.
About that. Can I do full screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Appreciate it all.
No worries, no worries.
Let's see. All right, let me. Oh, wait, there. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. My name is Trevor Wells. I've been with him for about a year and a half. I actually graduated from FDU in 2022 and did 4+1 program, finishing that actually last semester. I primarily work in audit and in the theater and entertainment niche.
I don't like it. Everyone, my name is Nicole. I've been with Withum for over 2.5 years. I work primarily in tax, and I'm in the technology corporate tech niche.
And we're here just to give a quick presentation and then open floor to questions about why you should be with them. Okay. At a glance, this is just sort of like a dashboard of what we like to show off in the beginning. At the moment, we have over 330 partners with the team the size of 2,400. And of that team, 815 of them are actually CPAs, and we hope to grow that number over time. And something we also like to talk about is our revenue growth over the last few years. At the moment, it's at 520 million since inception. And then over time, we expect that bar to continue to grow. Additionally, we're also a member of HLP, it's Global Advisory Network, which I'll talk about a little bit more in the next few slides. So I like this slide a lot, mostly because I get to talk about the difference between total growth and organic growth. Obviously, we've had a lot of it over the years, but really what we're proud of is the organic growth. That being growth through offering new services to our existing clients, maybe that we haven't done in previous years, or acquiring more clients over time. Whereas the total growth could come through maybe we've had a recent acquisition from another firm, like that. And then Withum actually is an international company. We've grown, we've added a lot of offices over the past few years. 5 or 6 years ago, we actually didn't even have offices on the West Coast. Now we have 6. And in the last 2 years, we actually added an office in Bangalore, India. And I think in the last year, we've actually fully integrated them, gotten a sort of system where we can begin work during our workday. By the time we're ready to log off, we can hand it over to our India staff, and they can begin their cycle, sort of like a 24-hour workflow. And then this is what I was saying before with the HLB network. It's our international capabilities. What it is, it's a global network of advisors and accountants, giving our clients access to the best professional services around the globe. So let's say that we have a prospective client or an existing client who's requesting services that maybe we don't have the capabilities of reach. Well, now we have this large international network, and we can refer that client to a different group that can fulfill those needs, sort of giving back to the industry as a whole.
So we just want to start here with speaking about what drives us as a firm. And there's 3 principles: our clients, our team members, and our community. And on this slide, we have our purpose, our mission statement, our vision, as well as the values we have at Withum. So first, our purpose is to be a catalyst for growth and success of our clients, our team members, and our communities. Our mission statement is to help our clients be more profitable, efficient, and productive in today's complex business environment, and to pretty much put them in a position of strength. And then our vision is to be a leading advisory, tax, and accounting firm with global capabilities. And our value is we stand by doing things the Withum way, which are 10 tenets that embody the culture of Withum and are the foundation, the relationships we share with our clients, team members, and communities. And next, we want to go into our core values, right? We have a standard code of conduct, as well as the commitment to the quality of our work, as well as the commitment to integrity. And often at Withum, you hear the quote that says our services are for sale, but not our integrity. And you may ask yourself, what does she mean by this? And what this means is our services, our expertise, our skills, there's a price tag that we charge our clients for. However, our integrity, there's no price tag, right? We're never going to decrease our ethical standards in order to get a financial advancement. And Withum prides themselves where our clients all go through background checks, and we select our clients based off when we know that they're ethical and their money and stuff is clean, right? From as far as they're concerned. We don't just take random clients just to, maximize our profits, right? We do have integrity here. Next, we care about our client experience. And when we look at our client experience, we look at 4 components. First, we need to be innovative, right? We need to have a flexible, open mindset when we're trying to solve our client's problem. And next, we have to be adaptive, right? Our world is constantly changing, and we have to make sure that we step in front of these changes. We're able to align ourselves with our clients' problems as the environments and markets that they work in change. Next, we have to be effective, right? We're not going to just overpromise and not execute our work. We make sure that no matter how big the challenge is, either we can handle it or we have a lot of resources where we're able to hand our clients over to other experts to help them solve their problems. And lastly, we want to be trusted advisors. Our clients, we need them to trust us where when they have deadlines, that they know that if they hand us over the work, we hit those deadlines, as well as when you have a really good relationship with your clients and they trust you, if you do make a little error here and there, they are inclined to stay with you and aren't ready to jump to another firm. And now you may ask yourselves, why would we tell our clients first, we're a large firm with a lot of resources. Next, we do have a very high level of responsiveness. Due to what Trevor said, right, we have employees on the East Coast, West Coast, as well as internationally. So they are across many different time zones. So we're able to pretty much provide our clients a 24/7 responsiveness for any challenges that come across the board. Next, we have deep industry knowledge. Withum actually just hit their 50-year anniversary, so we've been in the market for a while, and due to that, we are experts and we have a lot of knowledge. Next, we do pride ourselves on our staff retention. Our average turnover rate is actually half of the largest firms. And what we mean by this is many of the bigger firms, let's just say Big Four, their staff come in and then they quit right away. They have a revolving door. Whereas with them, we pride ourselves on our employees are really happy here. And if they're not happy on the team they're on or the type of work they do, we do easily move them. And I think that's why we really do have a great retention rate. And next, we do have a tight integration of resources across all regions, out of the country, and so on. And we pretty much, when our clients pick Withum, we do put them in a position of strength.
Awesome. Thank you. So our position in the profession, right on display is a few awards we've recently gotten in the past few years, whether it be sort of inside public accounting, best of the firms in 2023, America's best accounting firms for tax. And I like showing this off because I think it speaks towards one of our main commitments towards quality and integrity. Few ways to show this is that we've been a member of the AICPA SEC practice section since 1977. We're registered with PCAOB and passed 5 PCAOB reviews, and we passed all 14 consecutive AICPA peer reviews. And then here is a few examples of our culture and workplace recognition, a few awards as well, some pictures of events we've gone to recently, some sports events, and then at the top right corner, even going back towards COVID, when it was a bit difficult to get together, we still tried to maintain that close culture and workplace environment where we could communicate, take place in some activities, and overall get closer. This breakdown of how Withum is broken down by niches, as we like to call them, different groups that you can specialize in. We have a very, very wide variety of them. I myself am in theater and entertainment, Nicole's in technology. And I like to show this off mainly because I like to stress that with them, you're not stuck in any one place. You can move between any niche that you enjoy, that you are interested in. For example, when I began with them, I was actually in financial services. I went through a busy season there and I found that it just wasn't for me. All it took was just to send one message and I had all the support I needed just to make that transfer into something that was more for me, which in the end is theater. And the same can be said for the broad departments, such as accounting and tax. I was lucky enough that when I joined Withum, I started in audit, and that was what was right for me. But not everyone is like that. Prior to my graduation, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be in audit or tax, but luckily it worked out for me. It would not be the same. It's very, very easy to make that switch. And the same exact thing could be said if you were looking into maybe advisory or forensic and valuation services. And to talk about industry expertise. This shows a further breakdown of some of the more niches that we specialize in. I like to show this off basically mainly because I can talk about some of the new ones that have recently come up, which is, for example, the cannabis field. That didn't really exist about 3 years ago, but we saw the opportunity when we broke through, and now we have an entire new group of professionals who are on the ground floor to further build up this specific niche within our firm. And then, of course, we can't neglect our traditional services, your bread and butter tax and audit services, whether it be something as simple as a review, or maybe you're specializing in a SPAC in financial services. Same thing with the tax services, whether it be local or tax, partnership, or corporate. You want to talk about advisory?
Thank you. So what Trevor just discussed, right, was the main, I guess, the two main things that people think of when you talk about an accounting firm, right? Tax and audit. Whereas Withum wants to take it a step further and be able to help our clients with whatever challenge, came across their table. So we created many different advisory services. And on this slide, I won't go through all of them. You can just take a look of the few advisory services we do have, one being cybersecurity. And this is actually a really cool niche at Withum. And we actually give our clients like a little computer that we plug into theirs. And we actually try to hack their software and their infrastructure. And when we do, then we do help them create a more secure software for themselves. And we do support them if, God forbid, a cyber attack does happen, a cyber criminal is successful. We help them with going through those challenges as well. And we also have a lot of transaction advisory, right? A lot of our clients will go through like mergers and acquisitions. They want to know the tax effects of them, what's most beneficial. And we do have lawyers here who are able to walk them through that. We also have outsourced accounting and so on. And then 3 big advisory services are we have a law firm advisory where we have cutting edge experts who are able to help our clients with succession plans, mergers, acquisitions, any financial analyses, any financial buyouts or management they need help with, as well as we have healthcare advisory. We also have experts who help healthcare facilities in all different aspects of their businesses, such as maybe their healthcare revenue management or physician revenue optimization. And then another really cool advisory service we have is forensic. So this deals with our clients who are going through bankruptcy or any type of investigation, a tax dispute, litigation, as well as, valuation services. So our clients may come to us and they may say, we quote our company as a $10 million company, and we tell them if that's fair or not. So we are able to give them a valuation. And we also have Withum wealth management, which is pretty much, we look at people's portfolios, we help them diversify their stock, we help them invest. It's pretty much wealth planning, estate planning. And currently under Withum's management, we have over $1.5 billion under our management. And then we also have the Withum Insurance Advisors, which we help with insurance consulting, deferred compensation planning, unique tax strategies.
So I'll just talk about some information and technology systems at Withum. I'm no IT expert, but lately Withum is very, very proud of a few accomplishments we've had. We were first to market with a fully AI-based infrastructure and security team. It's just named after Withum AI. We have a document management and client collaboration portal. Basically, the idea of that is, let's say you're beginning an audit and you have a preliminary request list where the portal just breaks it down clear and stable for the client so that they can just give you everything they request. And it's very simple to add to, take away from. It makes the process very secure and safe. And of course, 24-hour support, which you never really realize how important it is until you very much need it. I remember in my last busy season, I had to work very late into the night, unfortunately, and my entire computer just shut down and crashed, but I was able to reach out and get it back online, and it was like 11:30 at night at the time, so very, very, very effective. And then a little bit about innovation, which is something we love to see thrive in our company. We actually have a reference program where anybody at any level and with any level of experience can request an idea, maybe something they think can make a process more streamlined or take away a little bit of work from a certain group. It can be as small as let's say in my niche, someone just recommended, hey, maybe we should subscribe to the Theatrical Index. It has a list of every single Broadway show that's up right now, every Broadway show that's looking to start production, what's in the works, who's the producer on these shows, the company manager, and the management company behind it. And that little book that you can probably have at your desk helps a lot when it comes down to, say, planning for an audit, and it starts making your life a little bit more easy. Or in a bigger case, we recently automated our engagement letter process, where originally it could take a while to put together an engagement letter. Now all it takes is just filling out a few boxes and our program puts it together for us. Very simple. And a little bit about inclusion and diversity. Withum understands that we need to make an environment that's comfortable for everybody. Via a comfortable environment, we can see that every one of our team members hits the heights that they can reach. And of course, that begins with inclusion, which is all about us creating a culture that strives for equity and embraces, respects, and values differences for all our team members. Then moves to diversity, which is about each of us, about the unique experiences, qualities, and characteristics we all possess. And finally, it reaches fairness, which makes sure that every single one of our team members has access to the same treatment, opportunities, and investments that they deserve. And of course, to implement all of that, we need a strategic framework, and these are our 3 pillars, broken down into workforce, workplace, the marketplace, or community. And so the idea is that recruit, retain, and advance underrepresented talents at all levels, enhance innovation, and create stronger teams through diverse perspectives. And in the workplace, focus on fostering culture of inclusion where our team members feel empowered to be their authentic selves. And then getting back to the community, strengthen relationships to enhance Withum's brand and reputational capital so that we are recognized as that employer who you can be your actual self. You can reach those heights.
Thank you. So we have many team member resource groups, right? You can think of these as like clubs in your university, and they pretty much represent all our team members, and they help us enrich our brand, culture, and client experience by driving culture awareness and really gives us an authentic workplace. And just to name a few, we do have like a disability one, a veterans one, a parents network, where this one's really cool, where a lot of parents have to manage having a career and also being a good parent, so they can discuss their experiences and advice with one another. We do have some that represent people's ethnicities and nationalities, such as the Asian Pacific Islander one, the Black, African American, and Caribbean one. We have a Hispanic and Latin one, as well as a Pride LGBTQ. And on the next slide, I'll go into the WOW one. So WOW stands for Women of Withum. And basically, we have a mission to motivate, advocate, and elevate women in their careers. And we have a lot of internal conversations with the female team members, as well as you do have a lot of advocates in the firm to help you advance in your career, as well as we do host a lot of women networking events, and we do attend a lot. We even have a niche called FinTech, which is basically all technology companies that have women CEOs. And they're people who literally specialize in helping women obtain capital raising for their businesses and stuff like that. And then these are just a few of our corporate partners. And then Trevor.
Of course. And then I'd like to talk a little bit about giving back to the community, because we talk about all this growth and all this success, but how do we give back to really what propped us up in the first place? So Withum is part of over 250 nonprofit boards and committees. We also have the Withum Week of Caring, which 1 week in November, if I'm not wrong. For 3 days, we ask everyone to go to their charity, to their nonprofit organization of choice, and just give back. So last year, I spent probably an entire day just clearing out a local park, cleaning up, making it a lot better, and then you can do anything from there. Another thing we do is every single year when we have our new hire class come in, we call that our Empower class. Withum likes to pair up with an organization for that year, and then that new hire class, whichever office they're in, they organize a few events, fundraising, all so that we can accumulate at the end of the year and give back. And of course, we got to give back to our team members. So following Hurricane Sandy, we had a situation where one of our team members had lost their house, unfortunately. So what Withum did is we created this fund where the entire organization pools its resources and helps our team members get back on their feet financially. Then recruiting. So let's talk a little bit about benefits and incentives, break it down between team incentives and then work-life balance and integration. So I'll point out a few ones that I really like and that I've recently taken advantage of. Tuition reimbursement. So I just finished the 5+1 program here at FDU, and Withum was nice enough to cover a lot of my expenses for my tuition. Same thing, I'm currently studying for the CPA exam, and Withum's program completely covers your study materials and the test fee for your first attempt at each exam, which honestly goes a long, long way. We also have a client fee participation plan where for if you ever referral a possible client or engagement, you get a percentage of that for the first few years that we're working with them. And there's also some more like integration between, say, dress for your day policy, where you come into the office every day in a suit. We more figure, well, hey, if you're going to go out to a client and you're going to maybe a law firm, maybe you should dress up a little bit. But if you're going to more of a laid back tech company, well, then maybe jeans and a nice pullover is fine. And then we also have a hybrid style of working where you don't need to come into the office 5 days a week. We ask that you just come in 2 to 3 times, and then you can work from home at your leisure. And then one of my favorites actually is the holiday time off at the very end, because at the end of the year, the last week of December, we just say everyone just go home, be with your family for the holidays, have the entire week off. So it's a nice break before you get into busy season. And our people, our culture, and our strength. And just a little bit about Withum and our events. We love taking out the happy hours, the trips, the parties, as much as we can, just to build that one culture and that one team. I know that we go to a lot of same events, you being with me and Red Bank. So in the summer, we typically go to the Monmouth County horse racing track, have a good time. Near the holidays, we have one huge party and stuff like that. I remember I saw a Broadway show for free completely with everybody. It's usually just a good time.
Yeah.
And we've reached the end of our presentation. Here are some links to our Twitter account, Facebook, Instagram. There's some commercials on the YouTube channel, LinkedIn, of course. And then at the very bottom is both Nicole and I's emails. If you ever want to reach out, maybe hand us over our resume, because we do have recruiting opportunities coming up that I'm happy to talk about further if there are any questions about that. We can open the floor to questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like such like early years of Withum.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yeah, that's a lot of the support that comes from that. When you begin, you start with a mentor, sort of like a buddy who's maybe a year or two ahead of you, and they'll pretty much guide you through everything, because we don't really expect you to know how public accounting works when you enter the company. It's just not realistic. So you need that help, that little bit of transition through that. So definitely.
And that's what's great about Withum, right? We know you don't learn in college what you do at work, right? Yeah, you learn the foundation and the basics, right? I do corporate tax returns. I've never prepped a corporate tax return in class, right? But to be honest, right? So it gives you your foundations, right? But the way you learn at work is by making mistakes and learning from them. And Withum is really good at like your first year, the level of like expectations, there's no bar, right? We expect you to just learn from your mistakes, and we'll teach you what you have to know. And I'm actually a mentor for a few interns. And basically they come and sit with me, they shout out. And we don't give them crazy hard work either, right? You're learning, it's really for you to feel, we want you to feel like our culture. It's a very like cool culture that's different than most firms. You won't get that culture, and we just want you to love with them and, want to be a part of the team.
Anyone on Zoom?
Anybody on Zoom? We have to next out to see their hand raised.
I actually have a question. I know earlier in your presentation, you guys mentioned that you worked with a team in India, and so you guys have like 24-hour coverage, I believe you guys stated. You guys not hear me?
Mike Peter's not muted by participants.
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so continuing on what I was saying, how long has that experience been, and what is that experience like? Do you guys like it? Are there any like challenges with it? Are there any ways that it could be improved?
Repeat it one more time, Joe. Sorry, I had you off.
No problem. So basically, I was asking that I know earlier in your presentation you mentioned you guys worked with a team in India, so you guys kind of overlap, and I was just wondering how long have you guys been doing that? What's that like? And basically, how have you liked it? And could it be improved in like any way?
Yeah. No, by all means.
I think we started this a few years ago, and every year we actually do try to work on it. And basically we speak to our US team member develop India, and we ask for her input. And then we really do strive to make changes. Like for instance, our India team members, because of the time difference, when we sent them work, they were like, we don't really have anybody to go to, right? To be able to answer our questions. So like this morning, I had an hour office hour from 8 a.m., from 7 to 8 a.m. So it'd be later for them. It was like 7:30 their time. And they were able to ask me questions on a call like this, right? So that they could keep moving while we're about to log off. And I think it's really helpful because when you have deadlines and 5 minutes and you all something at once, and if you're able to allocate that work to other team members, it makes your life much easier. And we also have India buddies. I'm also a buddy where we have calls once a month where you have to just like check in with your India buddy. You get to like ask them personal questions to be able to like build the culture with them as well as my team personally. We had like this game day with like our niche, and basically it was like you had to guess whose baby picture was whose, and you know who wrote this about themselves. And we really try and strive to make our India team really feel a part of our team, even though there's a lapse of time zone and obviously distance. And we even had someone on my team fly there the last 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of December, and they kind of brought our culture there and they train them on like our work papers and stuff. So we really do try to strive to make it work. So I don't know if you got anything to say.
Awesome. You covered it
Yeah.
perfectly. Yeah,
Wow, thank you so much.
awesome. Thank you.
If you guys wouldn't mind just elaborating more on service policy.
But every is just kind of different, right? So we probably speak more on audit. I don't really know much about audit, so I don't know much about tax. You kind of specialize in something, right? So like for me personally, I work for corporate return, with like corporations, right? So it depends on your season. Fun fact, everybody thinks there's one busy season, but there's actually two in tax because for everybody you extend, right, that's your next busy season. So personally busy like February, March, April. And then the summer, you know, you get more returns on, but it's like a normal 40-hour work week. And then it picks up again the end of August, September, October. And basically, you know, every team's different. So it depends on what quarter you're talking about. Like some of my clients have, for instance, a Delaware franchise staff. There's a benefit of being registered in Delaware Corporation. So most of them are registered there. And then they do have to pay tax if they raise any money to investors. So that's like a few times a year. There's quarterly estimates. I think it kind of depends on the season. Right now, we're talking about busy season. Early January, we set up this like tax list. I know one has two. And there's probably 300 requests we ask our clients for. And once they provide it, you start working on it, right? So you work, you prep, you send it for review, and then people send you back review comments. And it's kind of that cycle. But it really depends on your team and what type of tax or audit niche you're in. So when your busy season is, you may be working 65 hours, but someone next to you is working 30 that week because you have different seasons. But overall, it kind of all evens out with hours.
Similar thing with audit. Audit typically is more mainline where there's the one big busy season from like January to maybe mid-April, something like that, where you're working a lot, honestly. But then following that, it kind of goes in layers. I work in a special case where with leader clients, honestly, kind of all over the place, where one day I'll be working very little, and the next day it's like, oh, well, I'm working a lot. It's all over the place, but it's unique to each individual person, and it gives you opportunity to find what works for you. You know, you can jump around as much as you like.
Another question.
Hi, I actually have a question.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for coming. I'm actually also the vice president of the BAP Account Owner Society, and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed the presentation. My question would be, what would you say the most successful interns and employees at our firm do different than everybody else?
Well, you can go first. I would
My number one thing I would say is just ask questions. Just always reach out, check up. Hey, is there anything I can help with? Even if it's just the smallest thing, as long as you're making the effort and showing the effort and showing that you care, it will go so far. Even if I have nothing to give you, I was just like, you're an intern, I just don't have anything to hand over. I will remember that you tried and you reached out and you're making the effort and you actually care. That goes a long way.
I agree with that. As well as communication, key, right? Especially when you start off, right? You may have people pulling you in 10 different directions, right? They don't know what's on your plate. it's really important to be able to communicate with your team members and be like, hey, listen, I'm getting to this by Friday. Is it okay if I get to this next Tuesday? And if not, it's okay. They'll pull it and give it to someone else, right? You just don't want to pile up all your work and sit there and overpromise, right? You want to be really you want to really communicate. And as Trevor said, right, communication, you have to ask questions, right? You shouldn't sit there and, you say the word spin your wheels, right? It's right. So like if you're sitting there for 10 minutes and you can't figure it out, it's okay. Like sometimes we don't know things and we have to go to people on this, right? So you have to ask for help.
Do not be afraid to ask for help at all. There's no dumb questions when you're starting out. Not even when you've been in it for like
spelling
6 years. Yeah. It's
no one's gonna no one's judges here.
We genuinely expect you to have never seen most of the stuff in your entire life. So do not be afraid to ask questions. We'll be happy to answer those questions.
And you really should start to learn from your mistakes, right? Doesn't matter what firm you work in, just general piece of advice. Not that you shouldn't make the same mistake twice, but if on a tax return on New York, they say on this line, do this, or answer this question, take a note of it. So every single time you prep a New York State return, for example, you go back to your notes and make sure you handle those so you don't get those review comments. So it's really the successful people who learn from their mistakes. They talk, they ask questions. The people who kind of sit behind a computer and don't want to engage and ask questions, they're the ones who kind of pull more behind, as well as, I don't know if you can tell with them our personalities, right? You want to, show off your personality, be outgoing, right? It's not like, oh, suit and tie, like, be so stern. Like, people want you to enjoy your lunch, talk, be outgoing. Like, that's like the Withum culture. Everybody's very outgoing. All the partners, they have an open door policy, which is really cool. They sit in glass rooms, but what that means is you can literally walk in any partner's room at any time, as long as the door's not closed and they're on a call, and you can ask a partner for help, right? That's really what I loved about Withum. It doesn't have to be your staff or a partner. Everybody's extremely humble at where they are in their careers, and a partner will sit with you and show you something. It doesn't even have to be someone at a lower level, which is really cool.
Thank you so much. That's great advice. It's really nice to hear your insights and to hear from people that are already so successful in the field I want to pursue and career in the future. So appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Awesome.
Hey, Trevor.
How's it going, Mr. McGregor?
How you?
I'm living the dream. How are you?
I'm good. I'm wondering how you're making out on the CPA exam.
I passed BC and audit, and I'm currently studying for FAR right now. It's a little hectic with the busy season and all that, but I hope to be done by July if everything goes according to plan.
Excellent.
Just keep grinding away, and then it'll all be worth it.
Yeah, well.
Sure.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
I've interned with a big four county firm
Yep.
recent time, and I noticed there's a difference, with like working on one client. Like, what's the difference between public accounting when you're working at audit versus like big four accounting, like when you're doing like audit?
For audit in particular, I've heard stories where it's like maybe in the big four, you're just working on one client for maybe one section of the audit binder and stuff like that. And in my position, I'm working on a multitude of clients and over every single section of the binder. And I feel like that's how it should be. You're not going to get the full concept of what an audit is if you're just working on cash for Disney Corporation the entire time. Rather, you should be working like with the expenses, the revenue, liabilities, all that stuff, just to get that better understanding of what really an audit is. And then hopefully, if go even farther than that, is you'll get the opportunity to maybe with some client interaction, maybe you're the one who's emailing or sending out confirms or honestly asking questions to even the client, maybe like, hey, I'm trying to understand this, but maybe you can help me get that way. And even that little bit of client interaction helps a lot in public accounting.
And to go further with that too, we had someone that just came to our team last year from KPMG. And, he's like my 11-hour upcoming seniors. And he's like, you email all the clients yourself? And I'm like, yeah, you can't even Big Four. They don't even let you touch an email or anything. He audited supervisor level, right? So the good thing about Withum or even any like smaller mid-sized firm is they allow you to get your hands in right away and practice speaking to clients, right? Like this upcoming year, like we had a year-end call to our clients, and they let me, as an upcoming senior, speak on the call, and you had a partner there Whereas if I fell short, I didn't know something, they kind of knew to pick me up. But, you know, you go to these other bigger firms, they don't let you start speaking to clients until you're a supervisor or manager. That's a really cool experience by being, you know, at like a mid-size, I'm gonna say small, but like, you know, like a mid-size firm. And you really get to prepare from start to finish and see everything. And you work on many different clients, you see so many different things. So not every client is exactly the same. So it's really cool to work on 80 clients, a person each, you know, you get to see a lot of different things.
Sure, yeah.
More experience.
Yeah, I get the opportunity in the summer to work with a lot of not-for-profit organizations rather than on theater in New York. It's a completely different lifestyle and stuff like that, and a completely different kind of company. So, yeah, that's your question.
And we work on that currently contributing right now. If they get some dirt there.
Oh, it's me, my gosh.
I don't know if you want to answer yourself, but ask that question, but. Or again, you should in the chat.
Or in what office, yeah.
Yeah.
You're in Red Bank, Whitney, Princeton. All good if you can. All good, but yeah, no, it's good to see.
Anybody have any other questions? You have one question.
Yeah.
Are there any recruiting events that would be held over the next couple of months?
I'm not certain about in FDU. Yes, yeah, I can talk a little bit. I can talk about recruiting in general and stuff like that. At the moment, our 2024 winter and summer internships are full, but in this coming summer, we're opening up for internships in summer and the winter again, where winter is more focused on tax opportunities, and then summer is more focused on both, really. You get a complete mix of it. In general, we ask usually that you, yeah, sorry.
Like, real quick, just add on to that. What about the wealth management you guys have? What about the competition?
There's no internships for the wealth management at the moment. I know there's certainly opportunities to apply for like full-time thing, but if you're gonna go into the internship, it's just gonna be audit and tax-based stuff.
The thing is, if you do get hired out of your internship, you like, I really want to work on that team, and they'll, you know, that's like a good way to get in. You know, they might not hire even no experience in that specific niche because it's kind of tiny. But if you're hired as an intern, you're like, I really want to, you know, or split your time between tax and that, and then we give you money in. That's a good opportunity.
The only requirements for these internships is that we ask you have a 3.0 GPA and that you be an accounting major. And then
Sophomore to senior.
yes, sophomore to senior. And then for full-time opportunities, I know that Whitney and the Red Bank offices are currently full, but we're completely looking for tax and audit professionals in New York City, Princeton, East Brunswick, which is our headquarters. And yeah, of course, that same requirements, accounting major, 3.0 GPA. And then we also ask that you're interested in taking the CPA exam and attempting that.
Another cool thing is while you're an intern or while you work, like I'm assigned to Whitney, but you can go to honestly any office. So we went to Boston for the weekend. We have one in Boston. We have one in Nashville, right? Like we call it hoteling, and you like book a desk, and you can literally go to any office whenever you want and work from it. You're not like stuck at your one office, which is kind of cool. That happened like during and like after COVID. Which is cool.
Yeah, I'm mainly at Red Bank, but I also go into the New York office every Thursday. So, tomorrow actually. So I gotta do that tomorrow. Get up at like 6 a.m. to get on the train. But I'm not even kidding you. I look forward to it every single week. I've grown to love this city because I get to actually be with my team. Like that's where I get to like, yeah, it's all out of there. I'm the only guy who's not, but I get to see them, interact with them. We go out after work when we finally log off. It's honestly a really good time. Yeah, it's really nice. Lots of perks.
What made you individually chose Withum over any other accounting firm?
So I actually never even had a desire to go big four. I'd like to see the big four and write like mid or small. And basically I had a lot of like older cousins and people I know that every time they started big four, they quit immediately. And I feel like it's just a revolving door and you really don't see the path to partner. Withum literally tells you, right? I started in November 2021, and they told me if you have your CPA in 5 years, you're a manager. It's either you move up or you get let go. So it's like you know your path. First year, you're step one, then you become step two. Senior supervisor, fifth year, you are a manager. Whereas big four, right? You have to wait, kind of get promoted. They don't really everybody gets promoted at different times. As well as if you go private to a small firm, sometimes you have to wait till someone quits or there's an opportunity to move up. That's why I personally picked with them, and I interned here and I love the culture. And we kind of say we're not the stereotypical accountants, right? Who are coming in, like the partner will talk to you, they're very, we're stuck up. Whereas with them, everyone I've ever spoken to acts like a staff, like in there at your level, and they respect you, and that's why I chose with them, to be quite honest.
I chose it for the people. I was actually, funny enough, I wasn't supposed to work for Withum. I had a job set up with a separate firm, but between that after I graduated and between that start date, I interned at the summer at Withum, and I just loved the people so much. I was like, yeah, I gotta make the switch. I gotta switch.
We didn't get to do this, but now every entire class that starts in November, we send you to Disney World for a week for training.
So
I think we stole from the Big Four that idea, but we built it. But get park passes, I'm trying to, work my way into training there so I can go. So that's really right. I'm like, who needs me to train you? I'll be on the ride with everybody. But that's a really cool, fun, incentive.
I missed about 1 year. 1 year and I could have gone to there. Come
I'm
on.
like a little
But yeah, lots of perks.
It's really cool. And we do really fun events all year. We do Broadway plays. When we go to Monmouth, they literally give us like money to gamble with on the horses.
Yeah.
So right, the front page, you win. What other events do we do? I know some people go to like the West Coast go to like games, like baseball games. Our partner, we always rent a Knicks suite, and when you become a supervisor or higher, you invite like your biggest clients and get to do a Knicks suite. Last year we did a New York Rangers game. Which I'm a huge Ranger fan. They do really fun things. And if you have an idea, it doesn't matter what it is, like they'll get it done. Like you're like, oh, I think we should go here or do that. They're like, all right, like talk to people, talk to marketing, and they honestly do the lot for us.
Yeah, we have like a small like young professionals day where I live near the Jersey Shore, so usually we just rent out like a bar in Asbury Park and have the whole entire night for ourselves and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we do a lot of fun things. It's like cool, which I think separates us from other firms. In your question, if that helps answer it.
Any questions?
Other questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned I'm an accounting student.
Not picture, I took it back.
And I'm deciding this to be Jerry. Give me your best speakers as to why you should go to audit and do explanation.
So to be quite honest, I never tried audit, so I don't want to say anything bad or about it because I really don't know. From it's right. So let's go up Beta. But from a tax perspective, I love tax because, right, especially like corporate returns, they are so big, and some of them take like 60 to 100 hours to prepare. And it's honestly like really, I guess I can use the word fun. It's like fun, it's like a puzzle, right? You have this client info, you're plugging things in, and it's kind of a pretty long process, but not as long as audit. Like audit, you do with the same client, let's just say for 6 months. I think over time, for me, I get bored. I kind of like switching like every day, or every other day I'm working on a new client. There's a new problem. And also with tax, there's so many different taxes that you don't think of. Like for corporations, right? It's like the yearly federal and state return. Then you have like Delaware franchise tax, you have a commercial rent tax, where if you're a renter in Manhattan and you spend over 200 grand a year on rent, you owe New York City taxes. There's quarterly estimates. Like I feel like I'm always doing something new, and that's really why I love tax. And I think there's so many. It's not just the federal return. There's so many states, right? These corporations like Amazon, if you file, they probably file in all 50 states because they have like nexus, the payroll sales or like rent in each state. So you're looking at so many different state returns as well as federal. And honestly, it's just like being challenged every day, something new every day.
I've always been interested in audit. Why I chose it merely to work with a team, to be with other people, bouncing ideas off of each other, be like, okay, you take this section, I take this section, how can we figure out how to do this the best way we possibly can? That, and also client interaction. I didn't want to. Yeah, so that's all day. I wanted to go out to the client and stuff like that. And I've gotten an opportunity. I've gone to these theater management companies. I've talked to the company head, to the finance managers and all this stuff. So if you're looking to work with a team and be very team focused while also having that client facing interaction, I'd say probably go towards audit.
But you want massive teams too.
Okay.
I need to let's say like 80 clients of my own. I have different team members on each one, but you do work with a team. A little bit. Obviously, that's a bigger team, like audit, and like on like sit together and work. We kind of sit separately and then like put each other like that. And we don't obviously have that full interaction where you're going to go to the client's office or go out to eat with clients. Really, as you move up, you'll go out to eat with clients, but we kind of just call them when we have questions and stuff. It's not as much as like like the auditor going there and Oh, and another thing is your clients like your tax people better than audit. Because they're trying to find fraud. You're not. You save money, they're trying to make you a criminal. So.
Yeah.
Their clients like, salary people better.
Extraordinary response. We also work with teams. Okay, that's fine.
No, I think, you don't have a team and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Which is really passionate about my side,
One more question.
Yeah.
How much is remote work? Is it,
Well, lately, like after COVID, like, everyone just wanted to be remote and stuff like that. So, I would say it wasn't until probably the last year that we've gone back to being in, the office 3 days a week. I would say that's what we asked for you. And in my personal opinion, I think it kind of helps a lot. Most people want to be with their team and with other people in the office. And then other times people just want that little break day where maybe they gotta be home and they gotta work from home. I wouldn't say it's been a bad effect. I think, like I said, it's actually helped a
Right.
lot.
And I think the main reason why our lawyers and accountants are getting to bill our time, we have to hit a certain amount of billable hours a year, right? So with these billable hours, right? Let's say you're in marketing and they say do A, B, and C and get it done by Friday. You probably got to work on a Monday and then sit home the other 4 days, go to the gym, go to Starbucks, and not actually be your computer. With accounting, you need to bill your time. So I can't say I work 10 hours a day and not commit a work product. Therefore, I think it doesn't matter if you're home or not, you need to get that work done. Like, I love how you could take an hour break, maybe go to the gym, but then I like how you can log back on maybe at like 10 o'clock at night if you'd like to work at night and make up those hours. So that's another really good thing about Withum is they're kind of flexible as long as you get your work time. Right, it's all flex time. Like if you're a parent, which I doubt any of you are, but like let's just say you have your kid's baseball game and you want to make it and it's at 4 o'clock or end at 5, you can log off for that baseball game for your son or daughter and then log back on, which is really cool. Or make up more hours on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You have to log off early on Monday.
Yeah,
Which is kind of cool.
it's not like, oh yeah, the typical work day is 9, so you have to be on 9. No,
Right.
that's not the case. Unless of course you get a meeting, but otherwise
Right.
it's
Possible.
we trust you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when you go 3 down too. Your work product's good and your time sheet shows your handy hours. It's not a problem. I personally like doing both because when you're fully remote, it sounds fun, but it kind of does get sad and lonely without being your team members. However, I do like working from home more during busy season because I do feel, I gotta get through a lot of work and I do feel like, people come over your desk and talk, which is fine and great, but it kind of slows you down a little more. I think there's pros and cons to both, but it definitely doesn't hurt our firm with like work products. I think they said during COVID, we hit like actually the most revenue profit like that we have ever. Like we had a huge up year. Well, at least from my niche, I know we had a really like good year and everybody was working remotely. So
How many days do you sleep in your own bed versus traveling?
I personally never travel really for speaking around different things.
Travel much? No. We do the most travel I've seen for our company, besides like big events, is like indoor accounts. where people will just fly over to the middle of the country and be there for a week and stuff like that. But for typically, you'll be at home and in your like core region and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
It's like partners sometimes they'll travel to like big networking events, like obtaining new clients. I know one of my partners, she flew to California for like this women's tech event to retain new clients, and she was gone probably for a week. But we really don't travel. But another good incentive we have is if you want to go to the California office for a month and like bring the culture there, or go to like a new office. A few people on my team went to California, to San Francisco, and I forgot what the other office is. And they stayed for a month, all paid for by Withum.
Mhm.
Another one of my team members went to India. So if you want to travel and go to like other Withum offices, it is like paid for. If you come up with a reasoning, whether you're doing training or you bring the culture there, which is a cool experience. It's like work for another state.
If you want to switch into a different niche and
Right.
primarily, they're out of a certain office.
Boston, right.
That's all the questions. Thank you both so much for this
Of
meeting.
course.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And make sure you send us your resumes.
Yeah.
Did you guys take a screenshot right now?
I think it's recorded. I'll put it up one more
I
time.
think you can make a little snip.
Yeah, by all means, put your resume. It's all good.
I don't want to give you one.
Yeah.
Stuff. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Backpacks. Blue light glasses, and these are actually really good chargers for your phone. They're really long. All right. Take as much as you want. Bring one to your roommate, whatever.
Effort and just provided the whole house today regarding next week's meeting, but that ends the speaker part of the meeting. So thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
thank you. Just stay behind.
Thank you.
Fall semester my sophomore year.
Alright.
So class was probably, what do you call it?
Alright.
Teaching overhead and stuff like that.
Oh, the week of full to class nine.
I'm sorry, are we supposed to stay? Are we staying to discuss something after the meeting or?
Oh, wait, hold on.
And those are really good. They're like really long.
Give it another minute or so, and then we'll make the announcement.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure because my class is at 6, that's why.
Don't worry, it'll be fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alrighty, so the board and I have decided that we're going to be pushing candidacy applications up a month because we're going to be only having 2 meetings in March. Give more time to get more people that will offer candidacy. So again, if you know anyone who's interested in applying for BAP, please send us over to one of us or to Professor Sampath, Professor McGregor, if they're interested. Tomorrow is the job and internship fair. I do know that Withum will be there. So please go network, gain a lot of connections from there. And then next week, we will have Northwestern Mutual come in. Ashley D'Olio will be coming in to speak to us next week. But then, yeah, so with that being said, that's it. That's the only announcement I wanted to make. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your weeks and we'll see you all next week.
Have a good one, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you too.